Psalm 10 KJV. 1. Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. 3. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. 6. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. 9. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. 10. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. 11. He hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hiddeth his face, he will never see it. 12. Arise, O Lord, O God, lift up thine hand. Forget not the humble. 13. Wherefore doth the wicked contemn God? He hath said in his heart, Thou wilt not require it. 14. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite, to requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. 15. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. 16. The Lord is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. 17. Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their heart. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear. 18. To judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress. Devotional style reflection. Psalm 10. Psalm 10 is the cry of someone watching injustice unfold and struggling to understand where God is in the middle of it. Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The psalm opens with deep honesty. Have you ever wondered, where are you, God? That's the voice here. It's not doubt, it's desperation. A raw plea from someone who knows God is just, but can't yet see his justice. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. The psalmist describes the heart of evil, pride. The wicked look down, not up. They use their power to crush the poor, to exploit, to oppress. They're arrogant, greedy, and feel untouchable. Verses 3 to 11 paint a portrait of evil. The wicked boast about their desires. They bless the greedy, mock righteousness, and have no room for God in their minds. They see themselves as unshakable. I shall never be in adversity. Their mouths are poison, filled with lies, curses, manipulation. They lie in wait like predators, stalking the innocent, targeting the poor. They even pretend to be humble, just to trap the weak. Worst of all, they believe God is blind to their evil. God hath forgotten, he will never see it. This is the moment where injustice feels unbearable. But then, the psalmist turns to God. Arise, O Lord, O God, lift up thine hand. This is a holy plea. Do something, God. Rise up. It's a prayer of both anguish and trust. Thou hast seen it? Here comes the shift. Faith breaks through the fog. The psalmist says, You have seen it. You do see. No tear, no act of cruelty escapes his eyes. God sees the orphan, the widow, the crushed, and he will answer. Break thou the arm of the wicked. The arm represents power. This is a request for God to remove the strength of the oppressor and bring their schemes to an end. The Lord is king forever and ever. Even when evil feels strong, God's reign is eternal. The kings of the earth fade, the arrogant perish, but the King of justice remains. And the chapter ends with hope. God hears the humble. God prepares their hearts. God acts on behalf of the fatherless. And in his time, oppression will cease. Psalm 10 teaches us this. When evil seems to triumph, don't be silent. Cry out to God. And don't be fooled by silence. God is already moving. Psalm 11, KJV. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. 1. In the Lord put I my trust. How say thee to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain. 2. For lo, the wicked bend their bow. They make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privily shoot at the upright in heart. 3. If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? 4. The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try, the children of men. 5. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence his soul hateth. 6. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. 7. For the righteous Lord loveth righteousness. His countenance doth behold the upright. Devotional style reflection. Psalm 11. Psalm 11 is a declaration of faith in the face of fear. David is being advised to run away, to flee like a bird, because evil is closing in. But David refuses. In the Lord put I my trust. This is the core of the psalm. David is saying, you may run, but I will trust. Others are telling him to hide. They see enemies drawing their bows, ready to shoot in the dark. The danger is real. But David doesn't let fear decide his next step. Faith does. If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? This is the fearful cry of the discouraged. When society crumbles, when justice is mocked, when truth is trampled, what hope is there? But David answers with confidence. The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. In other words, God is still on the throne. The world may shake, but he is unshaken. His rule is not challenged by evil. He is still present, still watching, still ruling. His eyes behold, his eyelids try. This is poetic language saying, God sees everything. He examines every heart, not casually, but closely. He tests the righteous, not to harm them, but to refine them. The Lord trieth the righteous. Yes, even the faithful go through trials. But those trials purify, not punish. Meanwhile, the wicked and him that loveth violence his soul hateth. God does not ignore evil. He does not smile upon cruelty. Those who love violence place themselves under judgment. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone. This is not metaphor alone. It's a picture of God's justice. A storm of judgment will fall on the unrepentant. Evil may fire arrows in secret, but God's justice will come from heaven. And finally, the psalm ends with beauty. For the righteous Lord loveth righteousness. This is David's anchor. God loves what is right. He is drawn to justice. He lifts the faces of the upright. His face is turned toward them. Psalm 11 teaches us this. When fear whispers, run away, and darkness seems too strong, stand firm in your trust. You are not alone. The throne of God is not empty. He sees. He judges. He is near.